Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great. I know I've been missing for a while, but anyway, I'm back now. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this little handbag with this nice and cute little shape. So if you'd like to see how I made that, then just keep on watching. So these are the fabrics that I cut. I had my printed fabric and my solid color fabric, which was polycotton for the lining, and it was 24 inches long by 14 inches. So I cut two fabrics, the lining and the printed fabric. And then I also cut a same size piece of interfacing. I used the medium interfacing, and then I ironed it onto my printed fabric. Then I now took my printed fabric, which I had ironed on the interfacing, and then I placed it onto my lining, and I made sure that the right sides are facing each other, so that the vibrant side of the African print is facing the lining. Then I folded the fabric in half. I also folded it again, and then I pinned and made sure everything was nice and secure. Then I marked a 2 inches by 2 inches square on that corner. This is the corner with the open ends. After marking, then I just drew that little box. Then I went to the top, and then I marked 2.5 inches, and then I now took my curved ruler, and then I drew a curved line. If you don't have a curved ruler, you can just use your free hand. Then I went on to cut on all the places that I had drawn with the chalk. So when I open it up, that is the shape that I have. Then I went on to prepare the handles, and the handles were 18 inches long and 3 inches wide. I also cut the interfacing. Then I went on to iron the interfacing on. What I do is I iron the edges inside, and then I fold the other edge as well. I also turn it inside and iron. And then I fold it in half, and then I iron. I did this for both fabric strips. Then so these are both my fabric strips. Then I went on to sew them on the sewing machine. So after preparing my handles and the main body of the bag, and I went on to attach everything together. So first, you now open your lining. I opened my lining, and then I inserted my handle. I just use pins to hold it in place. I just use pins to hold it in place. And so I would put the zip inside the lining and the printed fabric. And I make sure that the right side of the zip is facing your printed fabric. That way when you turn it inside out, the zip will be on the side where it's supposed to be. So you kind of have to use your imagination and think ahead or think forward before you attach the zip. Then I also attach the zip on the other side. And I just use those little pegs to hold the zip in place. So this is where I went on to stitch, and I used a zipper foot. Then I sewed the zip on. So before I turn everything inside out, I took my scissors and I made those little snips, this to make sure that when you turn it inside out, everything lays flat. After turning it inside out, I now went on to press that down. Then I went on to top stitch the zip. And then I now folded the bag in half. Then I went on to join the sides together. Then I went on to stitch these on the sewing machine. So when I stitch the sides, I also go and I overlock. So there you can see I've stitched and overlocked. If you don't have an overlocker, then you can use some binding to hide the raw edges, or use a zigzag stitch. After joining the sides, then I now went on to fold the bottom. And how you do this is by just grabbing the bottom of the bag, and then you make sure that the side seam is at the center. Then I used my pegs again to hold it in place before I went on to stitch it. So at that point, the bag is basically done. Then I just turned it inside out and straightened it out. So if there are any wrinkles and stuff like that, I normally just use my iron and then I put it on steam, and then I steam the bag. It takes out all the fine wrinkles. Thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I really appreciate